Hello everybody, welcome to the SideQuest Senpais. Today we are going to be playing Legend of Korra on the PS4. This is not a live commentary. Sorry if that upsets you, it's just how things had to be. First off, I'm glad to finally get a good Avatar game. Being a fan of the series since the beginning, nothing's turned up to be as good as this. Not saying the others were unplayable, but this has definitely topped all of the others. One thing I want to point out that kind of upsets me, I figured in 2014 we would have had this down by now. This game does not support subtitles. I've looked in every option menu there is. Display, sound, sometimes you get it in a weird nook and cranny of the options menu. It's just nowhere to be found. Another thing I would like to say is if anyone here has not watched Legend of Korra and has any intention on watching Legend of Korra, do not watch this. The game is riddled with spoilers because it takes place, I believe, between Season 3 and Season 4. So there's your warning. This game is developed by Platinum Games, which I'm sure some of you, if not most of you, have heard of Platinum Games. And if you've played any of their games, you know the difficulty curve. This game actually handles it a lot better than most of the Platinum games that I've played, which I've really only played Bayonetta and Vanquish. Some others that they are known for is Wonderful 101 and Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. The difficulty plays out kind of nice. The combats, it's not hard. It's easy to start off with. Now, here in this segment, it's almost become a cliche in games now to have your hero starting off with all of their abilities in the first level and then just have them taken away. So here we have all of the elements at our disposal, and you get a preview at some stuff you'll unlock later in the game. And it gets you excited to unlock. It's not that deep, but it has enough depth to it to warrant you playing through multiple times. Because this game was developed around your first playthrough, you learn how to use each element to its advantage, you learn all of the combos with each element, and then your second playthrough, you play through on the hardest difficulty, which they've came out and said that's where the meat of the content is in this game, is just the having all of the abilities starting off on your new game plus and going through just the hardest enemies just using your skill and knowledge of the combos. Now this is a pretty fun feature, is the pro bending. I don't know if you'd call it a mini game or not. Yeah, sure, a mini game. I didn't think I was going to like this because usually the pro bending segments in the show are very boring. But this actually is fun. I guess interacting with it makes a big difference. For those of you that have not watched the show, pro bending is essentially just knock each other out of the ring. You have 3 people on your team, waterbender, firebender, and earthbender. However, our lovely compadres just fell off, so you're by yourself. And it introduces the lock-on system, counter, and dodge, which the counter in this game is probably one of the more is one of my favorite countering systems in the game. I'll say that. It's just like you have to get the timing right, but it's not so precise that one frame. It's like a one frame counter. I mean, you have plenty of time to get it. but it's also not as bad as Assassin's Creed and Batman, where you can just, oh, the enemy's turning red, he's attacking. Now I'm going to hold down the counter button and just destroy him. This game gives you notifications that the enemy's attacking. They'll glow red. They don't really do it in this part of the game. Not during the pro bending, it doesn't look like. But whenever you get into some actual combat, they will do that. But just because it just lets you know that they're about to attack. It's not like hold down triangle now. Well, actually, in this case, it's hold down R2 or L2. I mean, if you see a guy glowing red and you just hold down L2, it's not gonna always counter. Sometimes it's a little delayed. It's just letting you know there's an attack incoming, which is nice because it's not too difficult, but it also isn't so easy that you just hold down a button and win. Like, I had that problem with Assassin's Creed. I could never get in the games because I would literally wait for someone about to attack me and they'll flourish or counter, whatever it's called, and it's impossible to lose combat in that game. And but yeah, pro bending is fun. You just have to learn. I'm kind of rusty because I've just started playing the game whenever this was recorded. I'm getting the dodging and countering down, and I actually get a timeout. And we were tied, but the game says I lose anyway. Whatever. The strategy in this seems fun. I think there is I think there's a mode you can play later in the game where you just can do this over and over again. Same with this Naga running sequence that you'll see later. The running sequence, though, it's not fun. I don't enjoy it. Like, I mean, it's not terrible, but I can't imagine myself doing it for fun. Like, I can see myself going to this pro bending mini game just to, have fun, get a little challenge, kill some time. I don't ever see myself doing the Naga thing for fun. There's like one trophy linked to it to go through an entire sequence without hitting something. I might play it enough to do that. That's about it. Other than what the game requires me to do, I'm probably not going to play that mode. There's been a lot of complaint about the length of this game. I have not yet beat it, so I have no idea, how bad it is. Or, I think I am currently at chapter 5, and I'm not sure how many chapters there are. 1 second. Either way, people are comparing this to like a $60 retail game. You need to realize this is a $15 game, and it's fun. I mean, it's not just, it's beautiful. It's got, great audio. It has great soundtracks, and it has, spot on voice acting. It just sounds like you're watching an episode of the show. I want to say people were saying like you could beat it in like 6 hours or something. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't beat it. Yeah, I can't find it. There's not a lot of information out about this game for whatever reason. I think it's just because it has the exact same name as the show. There's no subtitle, so there's no way to differentiate the hits for the TV show and hits for the game. So here's where we get a little bit of plot. Some shady shit's going down. I don't know why she just decided to chase them off. And yeah, Yeah, that happened. And we are getting kidnapped. Yay. These guys are known as chi blockers. Essentially, in each of the bending, you know, you move chi from your body, yada yada yada. I'm not going to go into too specific a detail, but you need chi to bend. These guys have methods of attacking that temporarily disable your bending, but they're not doing, I don't know, they don't do it throughout the game. It's just they do it once, and it's like now you have to get your bending back. I just have my fist at the moment, which it could have made an annoying and crazy mechanic if there was some sort of combo these guys could do to disable your bending, so you have to use your fist. However, I have not beat the game yet, so that could very well be a possibility, or at least maybe like some boss might be able to do it. So here's where we start to get into the combat. I accidentally pushed the taunt button there, not a good idea. I was reading on a loading screen, apparently if you taunt, it actually makes some enemies fight harder and be like relentless if you taunt them. It's kind of funny. But, yeah, like I said, the combat's really fun. Like at this point, it's you seem kind of weak and whatever. It's not hard, but it's fun. It just seems weak, but whenever you restore your water bending, it really empowers you. Like whenever you play this part of the game, you just feel weak compared to the enemies. I guess not weak, but I mean you feel weak. I guess is what happens when you go from bending all of the elements towards spirits to just nothing. But there's a point where you just unlock water bending in this level. And it's just like these guys that were taking me like 3-4 hits to kill. It's just like nothing. Yeah, just every once in a while you block and you have inputs to put in. You have a little quick time event. It doesn't overdo it, thankfully. I really can't stand my quick time events. There is difficulty. Right now I'm just kind of blowing through it, but it's the beginning of the game. Even in the part I'm at in the game, the grunts, they're nothing to kill. I mean, they're nothing to, can just take them out no problem. However, if you don't take them as a threat, they can easily overpower you and kill you, though. I can't really word this that well. I'm trying to think of how to put this. Don't underestimate them. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Don't underestimate, like, just the grunts. Because you get 4 or 5 of them and you're not blocking, you're not countering, you're gonna get your shit pushed in. Now later in the game, whenever you start facing like bosses and stuff, or like boss encounters, not necessarily just scenarios, there you go, scenarios, because not every time this happens to the boss. There'll be like points in the game where you fight a boss or you fight a group of enemies in a specific location that it feels like a boss battle. And those moments, if you are not prepared and you have not readied yourself, or just you've never played a game like this where you need to counter, you need to block. Some of these battles will probably frustrate you. There's a few that I spent like 30 minutes plus on. It's just you have to get down the attack patterns, figure out what to do, figure out when the precise time to block is, and then take advantage of that. Well, I think this is about to wrap up episode 1 of my Korra playthrough. If you want to see more, subscribe. I will probably upload like 1 a day at least, maybe 2, depends.